So morning, folks. Today's the day we're taking pork chop and bacon to processing. So it's old dark 30.
Too dang early.
We'll get some good video for you. Lisa will run some numbers later in the video and see how it goes. The night before we take them to processing, it rained like cats and dogs. Anyways, let's go ahead and fight through all the mud. Let's get them on the trailer. So we got the piggies in, and I pushed the food back so it was in front of the axles, just to make sure that I can keep some tongue weight on that trailer. We're going to go ahead and put some boards to keep them from walking out while we try and rig something up to keep them in front of that axle. So we decided to put some ratchet straps in between there, kind of create a little net so the piggies couldn't get through that area and keep them up front. Yeah, that didn't work. They bent everything, busted right through that, and piggies went to the back.
We had some rain last night, so up here where we got to come out is pretty slick. So that's why he's going to go ahead and hook it up to the tractor, and then following up here, we will go ahead and hook it up to the truck. And off they go. A lot of my good friends that know me were really concerned that I would be very upset and crying. I really thought I would cry too, but I actually didn't. good 5 or 10 minutes after Porkchop got out, Mike finally had to go in there and just wrestle Bacon out. He was not going. Once he got him through that gate right there, he sat back down for another good, probably another 5 to 10 minutes and just would not stand up and go. It was so funny. And about a week later, Bacon and Porkchop were back home. Alrighty, so let's talk numbers here. So a couple days before we brought them in, we went ahead and did that whole measurement thing to find out the weights. And we do have a video on that. I will try to link that below. And what we came up with was almost pretty dang close to what their live weights actually were. So that measurement thing, I think we were off maybe by 15 pounds is all on 250-pound pigs. So I mean, that's pretty awesome. So when we got them there, their live weights were Porkchop was 250 pounds and Bacon was 260 pounds. And generally, the way that works is you have their live weight and then you have their hanging weight. The hanging weight is after they've been butchered and their innards are removed, and that will be what you have for hanging weight. They say about on average that you get about 70% of your live weight will be your hanging weight. So Porkchop's live weight was 250 and his hanging weight was 182. So that was actually a 73% difference, which is really, really good. Bacon was 260 pounds and his hanging weight was 200 pounds. So in that case, it was 77%. So we were a little bit above average on getting the hanging weight, which is amazing. Then everything that we got total back, which included the fat, the organs that we did keep, like the liver and the heart. So everything combined that we actually got back was 294 pounds. I mean, that's really not that bad. It's actually a little bit above average of what you can expect is what we got. So, you know, bottom line, it came down to $4.65 a pound. That included the price for us to get them, the price that we, or the cost that we spent on food, the cost we spent on hay, and then the cost we spent on butchering and processing. So what that didn't include was overhead cost. And when I talk about overhead cost, I'm talking about things like medication. We have a video that both of them ended up getting sick like a month before we were taking them butchered, so we did have to pay for a vet to come out. Another thing that you got to consider, of course, the fencing and the house was all an initial cost. If you want a cost on what we spent on fencing and their hut, sleeping hut, give you that information too. So, you know, that's overhead cost. Another thing that's overhead cost is getting the pasture ready for our next set that we'll be getting in May. So, you know, those costs add up when we have to go out there and we need to reseed to give the pigs the proper nutrition that they need to get, because they are grazing pigs. They're pasture raised pigs. So that's a little different. So like I said, that none of that was included in the cost. It was just the basics. Yeah, so that's about it. That's what it came down to. We did give some of the meat to our family. I'll post some pictures right here. Here's some ground pork that is store-bought versus what our pigs came back looking like. Also some pork chops that were store-bought, and this is the product that our pigs came back as. I mean, the meat quality is amazing. Not to mention, you know, we raised them. So once again, I do want to thank the Sarcastic Sow, and I'll leave their information down below also. They are the farm that we received our pigs from, and we will be getting our pigs from them again. They are here in North Carolina. They're in the Carthage area. I think that's how you say it, of North Carolina. And she's ramped up and is actually selling meat packages and that type of stuff. So if you're in the area, for sure, please go check them out, because it's amazing the difference between store-bought. And they always say get to know your farmers, for sure, people, because you don't know what's happening or what's gonna happen. I mean, who expected to not be able to get toilet paper? Okay, now imagine the meat and stuff. So really, you might want to start getting to know your farmers. I think that about wraps it up. So thanks for coming on this journey with us, and of course we'll be bringing you back along once we start our new journey mid-May. Get our 2 new feeder pigs. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that like button below the videos. That really helps us out. And share our videos on your social media would really help us out too. Bye guys. See you next time.